push, they have to approach it differently. It needs to be the Aegis hitting the tower, not this Dragon Knight that needs to be relocated out immediately.
We could wait another minute and a half before we'll find out when Roshan's going to spawn, and then VP can make their plans as well. But Newbie, together they move out. Together it's hard to be picked off. The SK, okay, yeah, you can lose Kaka on the top lane, but he's also, actually, has he finished it? Yeah, he's got himself a Yule Scepter flying on the Courier. So you've got more and more heroes that you want to engage on, which have more and more escapes. You've got 3 Yule Scepters now onto Newbie. Faith doesn't need one because he's got the 4 points up in Gravekeeper's Cloak, plus Ghost Scepter and 2k life.
He's so far. This is a tank. This is a really farmed Faith.
Yep.
It's unusual for him to have 9k net worth at this time.
He has more net worth than the SK.
Yep.
They're neck and neck, like there's 50 net worth between the two of them, but yeah, Kaka is out looking for his own Aghanim Scepter too.
You can just see the change in mindset of VP right now. Look at how their playstyle just changed in the last minute. This is exactly what I was thinking. Like now, they're just farming points. The Queen of Pain just took the entire top side of the map. The Ogre is starting to farm jungle. The Dragon Knight is farming jungle. And look at how terrified Newbie are. They're moving as like these 3, 4, 5-man groups while they're just getting out-farmed across the map. Check the tendency on the gold graph. This is 0 kills. This is just raw map that they've managed to gain about 3k gold out of. That's 1,000 PPM I was mentioning. If Newbie don't start taking care of getting out of the map, that tendency will keep going.
And they have to wait 2 minutes for Roshan as well. Right. The longer it takes, the worse it is for them. But then again, VP still have to go high ground. As long as Newbie are in position when VP properly commit and they win a team fight, then Newbie know they're going to gain a lot of this gold back. 1, through the team fight, and 2, through the push that will come directly after it.
That could backfire if
Mookie needs like 2
hits. The empty base.
Literally 2 hits.
Ah, okay.
That's it.
They can't go further though. If they start going for the VP base, I think it could backfire pretty hard. VP still have the IO advantage of being able to relocate and then push and defend at the same time. And that looks like they have the same read on that. They're going to back off. Yep. By the way, VP with 2 10-second BKBs. So Dragon Knight and Swap picked up there. Now we're reaching that point where there's a lot more margin for error in the fights. Lycan's BKB is still on 9. We have a lot of time where the puck has minimal impact. Only that Axe Oil will be able to get something done.
Who can decide what the hell he's gonna fire? Like he went from having a BKB to a butterfly, and now we've got both of them sitting in his.
I like the idea of not. I think it's nice to more damage. The way they're defending and positioning their heroes, he's a pretty difficult kill for VP.
Like
how much
he can rely on his teammates to keep him alive. The BKB has been keeping like Queen of Pain silence, does he can't breathe fire?
He can prevent getting stunned by Dragon Knight, counter the Veil, Shiva damage. I mean, it's obviously something, it's significant for sure. It's not a bad idea.
If DK is going to stun you, he's going to blink in and get the instant stun. You probably won't be able to get the time. Newbie, this is probably the furthest outside their base they've been in a long time.
That's a big rune, that's a big rune.
Oh, and no one's able to pick it up. No, at least that means you get to kill off one of the familiars, maybe.
The VP of 5 minutes ago would have run up that. I'm just saying, they would have run up that.
They're waiting for Roshan. The Orb and the Wolf scout out Roshan, so both teams are aware that Roshan is alive. I love the split. We're gonna keep in mind the split push power. When you pick up VPs on like a player like SC who is pushing the lane out, he can bounce onto the familiars too. Like he can just keep the split push going, or Faith can keep the split push going with familiars. Newbie are gonna smoke in, and they need to have a sentry ward down so they understand that the wolf is there. In fact, they get rid of the wolf with the familiars. The ping comes in from Orga.
This is Gem on SC.
The Radiant are scanning out. No one's being aggressive. And that's it, yeah. Gemini SC, no one will be able to catch him off guard. No wolves, no shenanigans. He's going Dagon as well. They're going for the burst damage on the puck. I thought they would go for a little bit more control, but...
Probably try to kill the Wisp. They can, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with Veil and Dagon.
They can do a pretty substantial amount of burst damage together. Him and the same thing can kill the supports this combo of items. But, so... You see, the thing that just changed in the map over the last 2 minutes was that Newbie managed to... Oh,
top lane, quick Yule Scepter. Aya's in the neighborhood, but they don't have another controller. So Puck will have to phase shift, jumps into the tree line, no one. He was about to start his blink down to SC, but we'll miss it. So yeah, what has changed, Cinderin?
So the way Newbie managed to get out on the map, you can see in the graph as well, right? Like this is a change where they were starting to lose control, and then they got their side of the map back. Drow was farming the triangle, Sand King is pushing bottom, and the rest of the heroes are moving together. They got to use this to make now. This is important.
Yeah, SK's going to come back. The double stuns from Familiars inside the pit. Necrobooks are down. SC with a two-man coil. Epicenter. The Dragon Knight is dropping down low. Fresh Familiars up for the fight, but then again the damage is way too much. They're right on top of Faith, but Moogie, no one is near him. KP surviving with that Spirit Siphon. Where is your damage? The Yule Set will take the Drow Ranger up. KP has finally fallen down. The bash from Ramses. It catches the Drow. No buyback for her. Buyback is available for the Visage as well, but Ramses is just cleaning up Newbie. The one fight, the big fight they had outside their base, and it goes so well. Oh, Pasha, SC's doing the work. It's not done yet. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, Roshan is done. He would like to get extra pick off, but that's the Dagon, and they have it. TP away.
If they didn't kill that Dragon Knight, this could have been maybe 2 lanes of Rex. I think at this point it might only be 1. They can expend multiple buybacks, but if the DK doesn't buy back, VP might be repelled just by the buybacks alone. Getting that Dragon Knight kill for SC was very important.
The SK buyback. SC's just trying to get rid of the Great Wave, but Ramses does so much damage. They'll burn the fortification. Burrow Strike in. Karka hiding in Biz for the moment. You still got that Gem of True Sight in the safe hands of the pot, but you've just had a dieback on SK.
That seems like Newbie weren't on the same page whether to buyback or not. I think they just lost the game. This is going to be probably mega. Sand King can't respawn now.
Oh boy.
He bought back. 2 other heroes had buybacks but did not expend them.
They need to draw a Ranger to fight this. They're
not alive.
They don't have the damage output to actually repel Virtus Pro.
They could go for megas here.
13 seconds. No one can die. If Newbie lose 1 hero here, then maybe it is going to be megas, but 8 seconds until Drow Ranger is up. KP does not have his exorcism. Looks towards no one. This is more of intimidation to push no one away. Same with Ramses. SC jumps in for the double silence. Lycan into the warp form, but here comes Moogie! Oh, that damage is still not enough. It's KP who falls down. Moogie needs to get back into safety. He cannot afford to die now. There's no buyback on him. This could be the game right now. There isn't enough firepower in Newbie's arsenal to repel Virtus Pro. Maybe when no one commits so heavily in, SC gonna commit his Dream Call, but Queen of Pain happy to stand here. KP will fall, and that really is the game. There's so many players from VP here. They have Megas up, and no one from Newbie that can really stop them from taking the rest of the base. That escalated very quickly.
Yeah, this is probably what VP were hoping to be able to accomplish on their previous pushes, but this time it was set up way better. The fight happened outside of the base. They managed to drag Newbie out to the Roche pit, forced the fight to happen there. They had great positioning, good teamwork again. The Dragon Knight got jumped on there. Well, it's very different. They relocated him just a bit off to the side, regened him up, came back in, and when they're fighting out in the open compared to the Newbie base, they could chase them down with the Lycan, run them down, and get those kills. I think Newbie at that point, like, you know, we've lost 2 Roches in a row. This is the one we have to try to fight for. We have our items. They go for it. Didn't work, and the game just spiraled out of control immediately after that. So I think it's very important for VP to win this game after they ran those ran into the dire base twice and failed. And it's going to be good for their confidence that they won it. But I don't think they feel happy with how they won that game. I think that showed some of the old VP weakness of being too over-aggressive sometimes. That can still be fun.
Yeah, and they got the opportunity they wanted to actually have them come outside the base. So what they were trying to force, Newbie ended up providing to them, and that gives a 1-1 result, keeping the group stage insanely close, because you can keep tabs and all of that over on all the official websites, and we'll be back for our second series of the day in just a bit.
The battle in Seattle rages on. A battle for pride and a whole lot more. And already so much to try and understand, so much to dissect, and so much to try and get our head around. I know you guys are probably in a very similar situation to us here at the panel here in Seattle, trying to understand exactly what the games you've just witnessed across those 4 streams mean. Some even happening right now, but we'll focus first, of course, on the one you have just witnessed, getting to see Newbie and Virtus Pro doing battle of the Dragon Knights and a battle of a whole lot more. I'm your host, Machine, and I am joined by Andrew, who will hopefully keep getting some light on where we are at and how that series transpired the way it did. I have Picat, we have, of course, Quinn, CCNC. Hey guys, I guess we just start straight into nitty-gritty. So the first series got away, the first in the series got away. It was a quite mixed match. In fact, you guys were having quite a heated debate. This was really fun. I'm just going to throw this back into the walls here. Now, the discussion's kind of deep. And you didn't feel like that was a deep game?
No, I don't think
Let's get our heads around this. Why wasn't it a DK game? Because others specifically.
they didn't really have any lane push that game, so it was very hard for them to make any platforms to do anything. And they kind of needed a lane to play around. Not a DK game that the public. Well, you can look at it from both perspectives, right? DK doesn't fit the other heroes, the other heroes don't fit. No, but the other where DK is actually good against those heroes.
Well, there's a Weaver running around. In fact, we saw a Weaver rampage. You can bring that highlight up for you. It was quite scary stuff for the pro fans, I'm sure, Mike.
It was. And the Weaver kind of just running around doing whatever he wanted. I think we're going to see a clip where Weaver gets what he wanted. He has pretty good damage with that ladder, and he has 2 supports that are disruptor. Yeah, the CK, we saw him get quite heavily countered by this user app. Those illusions of this. The Wisp, in my opinion, the Wisp is helping, helping out the Bad Rider to make sure the Bad Rider gets off to a good start, make sure Weaver doesn't snowball like he did. And while he does that, he puts a lot of pressure, I think, on the supports of Newbie to kind of stay in that lane. And with that, the DK should be fine in his lane, and the CK will get a lot of farm stuff. I also think that he went for the wrong item. He went for a very early defusal bait on that CK, and I kind of think he had to go for an earlier BKB, but...
Yeah. Getting into the real nitty-gritty there for a moment. In the second game, there was a DK in the safe lane. No, off lane. Where was he?
Yes.
It was off lane DK. They had off lane DK, and I was asking you, Will, when was the last time we actually saw an off lane DK?
No, for me, it's been quite a long time. It's one of those things where PyCap brought it up really early on in the panel on day 1 where he said that you need to be diverse with your heroes and you need to be able to pick heroes that fit situations. Yeah. That is one of the few times that I've ever seen a DK not run in mid lane, for example, and when PyCap said, like, this is stroke of genius, if you look at just how little damage he takes from these 2 heroes, he can just run at these heroes. They eventually go to the top lane, gank for him, completely set the game up, and now you've got a frontliner in the off lane who has had quite a good time, who can tower siege, and it kind of just balances their lineup overall. It also did something that you brought up as well regarding the draft, where you said if you draft this one hero and they think it's going to go one area and it ends up going to another, then it completely tricks them. So you draft something like the Dragon Knight, you think it's going mid almost certainly, like 99.9 times out of 100, and all of a sudden it's in the off lane. You no longer have this advantageous mid matchup that you previously thought you had. So for me, VP doing all these things, it was just a stroke of genius, and it's showing for me anyways that they have this kind of diverse style that is going to lend itself quite well to this main event.
And winning that game was crucial for Virtus Pro as well. Had Newbie gone 2-0, then their upper bracket dreams could very well have been on the cards. However, by splitting it, it starts to get even more confusing. How have you got your head around it, PyCat? You've been saying lots of ifs and buts at me. Let's see.
There are a lot of ifs and buts. Right now, what I know, or what I...
You know for certain.
Yeah, I think DC's run now, I do not think that they can any longer get into... Correct. Seeing as they lost game 1 to C9, they can no longer get into the upper bracket. They are in the lower bracket, yes.
They've got, but I mean, that is, in a way, it's certainty. It's not the best, of course, Quinn, but we can see that game going on right now behind us. This is actually live. We'll be able to catch up with it. But you check in with it. C9 are now battling to go ahead and make it 2-0. Now, let's not forget, Cloud9's story is head above water. It is fight or flight, and indeed, they do seem to be putting up quite the fight. 1 up in the series and 6-1 the score. Now, whilst DC are safe, Cloud9, by winning this, they're making Hellraiser's job a whole lot harder.
Yeah, the series is really, really important. The game was pretty close. It's back and forth.
somewhat annoying for me. But Cloud9 pulling out in the end, it's like absolutely massive.
What stood out in that first game? You say throwing from either side. Are we talking mistakes? Are we talking...
I think just some team fights going back and forth.
Yeah.
It's, you know, not like the traditional game where you see the team that's ahead winning most of the fights, sort of just snowballing their lead. It was back and forth, and the gold lead and the kills were very minimal throughout the game. You know, 3-4K gold lead whenever the first Rax was taken.
Damn. And so now DC kind of, well, I guess a little bit more stability than they were when they had coming into this tournament. You're in lower bracket. You are, however, in that scary place now. Cloud9, sure, battle continues for them. As I think I had it up. Admittedly, I'm going to have to go bring this back up. But for Cloud9, they only, they can't get into the upper bracket. If they win all 4 of their remaining games, which currently they're on track to do, the next game will be versus Hellraisers, so DC and Hellraisers. If they do that, they're safe. Cloud9 completely guaranteed.
I do believe that if C9 wins this game, the next game, and they win 1 game against Hellraisers, they should be through. Almost regardless. C9 right now, they were 1 point ahead, now they're 2 points ahead of Hellraisers.
Yeah.
Winning this would put them at 3 points ahead of Hellraisers, and so that would mean that they only need to win 1 game against them. So
basically,
Hellraisers are in a very tough spot right now. The scoreboard hasn't been updated yet, I believe, to match that Cloud9 state of victory. They should have 3 points.
yes, they'll be looking to like make it.
Yeah. And so Hellraisers are going to face up against, I do believe it was IG, we said?
Yeah.
IG, and after that, playing Cloud9. So Hellraisers need to go 4-0, as it looks right now,
That's their only
to make
chance.
it in. Yeah. That's
Okay.
tough.
So this is their TI. I like that expression you used previously. Well, like the next 2 games of Dota are defining their fate. They are the only team that came from the open qualifiers. You know, they are a team that has battled through adversity, and now they have a chance to truly, like, not necessarily make an impact, but they can still complete this this dream run to main event. However, it does look like an impending doom.
Oh, for sure. I mean, especially with C9 winning the way that they did. I'm sure HR were watching that game very intently, and that game was a nail biter. That game came down to the nitty-gritty, and that's how most of the games are going to be going forward in the TI. It's very rare that you start to see these stomps. For me anyways, the deeper you get into the tournament, the first few days are going to be these outdrafts. People will have one over the other, but for the most part, if you're going to win, it's going to be you're in for a long battle, you're in for these 60-minute games. Those are the games that are going to really determine whether or not you continue to go through in this tournament. But, I mean, for HR, that must have been tough, just watching DC go out that way, because you know DC wanted it. It affected their chances so much, and now it's in a weird position where their fate's not really in their hands anymore, because if you watch that game, DC versus C9, DC can't really do anything. They can't go up in the rankings, they can't go down. They're sort of just stuck.
I mean, I'd rather be stuck than be at either like, at the bottom end of the standings for sure. I'm just trying to get my head around OG as well. So let's just kind of think about this for a second. 8-6 currently. Let's not forget every team is going to play 16 games. So there is still, they can still get themselves comfortable in that upper bracket. But they did, however, split versus Execration. That's going to cause a huge problem.
I think it was 11 was the magic number.
11 is the magic number. Oh god, yeah.
So they cannot
10 is
They
magic.
can't, they hit 10.
Well,
So
So they split a series versus Execration, so Execration could have just ruined the upper bracket hopes of OG.
it does depend though, however, if I think Newbie and VP, they have 1 more series each. I do believe, right? They have played, are they 9-6? Or what are
VP
9
and Newbie?
VP and Newbie, they're 9 is it 9-5? Yeah, 9-5 exactly. So if they have 1 series left. So if those teams, if they drop 1 game and OG win 2-0 against LFY, then there will be a tiebreaker.
So VP and Newbie both, as it stands, have 10.
VP and Newbie? No,
No,
these are
this is
Oh,
just
these are
updated.
updated.
These are updated because that series has ended.
Yeah.
So it doesn't update until the end of the series.
Exactly.
So VP, Newbie, and IG, all 3 of them have 1 series left. I'm not sure if any of those teams are playing each other. If they are, there just has to be a 1-1, and then there is a potential if OG do win LFY.
What you're telling me is that LFY are the judge, jury, and there are so many big games to get hyped about. Let me write these all down so we can just realize how your day is going to look. Because I know you're strapped in, you've got your snacks, you're ready to watch some Dota. Let me tell you what your TV guide will be and why you should be getting excited. So let's just get that right. So LFY determine if OG get upper brackets. Lower bracket means you play a best of 1 for life changing. Scary. So LFY versus OG, that's right.
Assuming that the VP, Newbie, or IG don't win, if they don't win any game, if one of them don't win any game and OG take 1 game off LFY, then there will also be a tiebreaker between these teams.
How are you so good at this? You're magic.
I have a
GCSE maths.
there's some stats right there.
Stats matter.
Stats matter.
They don't lie either.
Stats matter. But MMR is still just a number. So we're still waiting for players to get into the lobby for our next game. In fact, we could probably bring up the next games for you if that's a possibility, just to try and get your head around it. But either way, LFY versus OG, that's going to be scary. These are your next games, and these still mean something for a lot of the teams involved. What's the secret story like? Can we check in with them? I need to stop clicking my pen, I'm terribly sorry. Let me get Team Secret up for you.
Yeah, what are their standings? They're not doing
I think it might be okay.
yeah.
At most, I think they can. They're 7 and 7. Is that what it is?
The secret.
If they're 7 and 7, there's probably
I think they're in the DC camp. They're in the DC camp, I think. Just your like.
Yeah, I think they're still right lower bracket.
But the most they can get, if they're 7 and 7, that's 8.
So isn't there? But aren't there a few teams who are there at 9 who are in the top?
Yeah.
Who, if they were to lose, then they could be tied at 9-9. Someone else? Is there EG?
EG are 9 as well as TNC.
Yeah. So if those teams, if they were to lose, if one of them loses, then like they go 0-2 in their next series,
Yeah.
and Secret wins 2-0 in their next series,
Yeah.
then there will be 9-9 tiebreaker.
Damn, this is.
Unless the head-to-head is. But I do believe that Secret played 1-1 against both those teams, so
The Secret one will never win.
yeah. So that might be
Okay, this is.
there are a lot of potential for tiebreaker.
I understand that this probably just sounds like this. So most of it is. But I promise it will start to make sense as the day does progress. All you need to know is that pretty much every game matters for the majority of players. You don't want to find it and look at the standings. This one, the EG Fnatic game, Fnatic seem to have had their fate sealed outside of that.
The thing that's exciting for me about that and why people continue is that DC, they want to play. It's not one of those situations where they'll buy the like DC for them. Just straight up, wow, it's such a big thing to be able to win. You lost that nail-biting game against CC. You might as well take them down. Like, if you're going to lose, at least win somebody down. Take down the guys who put you in that position. Like, that doesn't feel good. Yeah. Take it away from them. That's what it is at this point. Play spoiler, ruin some dreams. NA will just be at the bottom together.
I saw like a kind of a nod of that sounds like.
Yeah, I think that's what the mindset is. You don't really have anything to lose on any game. So, this team, like you said, took it away from you. Just try and beat them.
Just continue to drag them, picking the screens. And outrageous. With all of that said, we have about 3 minutes Let's just take our foot off the gas a little bit. How many are left now? How many have gone from your arm there? 5? 7. Okay.
After
Do we know any of the suspects we have on PC?
Bane,
Yeah?
Lion,
Yep,
Lion, Great King.
Eagle. That's sick.
That low stuff.
Okay, cool. Sure.
yeah,
Who is the least likely to be wrong? Who is the worst hero?
I also it's hard to push up that thing.
Hey, Will, you jumped in some
Yeah, we did it in DreamHack Atlanta. I
Yeah.
think against Secret.
Did you win that game?
Yeah, stomped them.
With Tiny?
With the
Yep.
worst hero in the game.
There you go.
Yeah, but it was... I don't want to call out misery, because after the game, he was really excited. He's like, did you see me carry that game? And I didn't want to ruin his confidence. I was like, yeah, you did great. Like, I was zonage. We should keep drafting that. And my hand was like, you're insane. Like, you're a level 2 Tiny dude at 8 minutes. Like, what do you want me to say as your coach? I was like,
Yeah.
good stuff. Like, we got him. He's just like, gets carried by resolution. I was like, no, you go, dude. Tiny all the way. I was like, this is not a thing.
So no Lion love then. No Lion love just yet either. So there are a couple of heroes yet to crop up in the draft, but we do have another draft on its way. In fact, Liquid are going to be taking on Team Secret. It's a game for pride. It's also a game for that seed as well. And all round, you just get to see some more fantastic Dota. Some cards may be kept close to the chest, as they know main event is just around the corner, but we still get to go ahead and dig our teeth into it all the same. A veteran to TI takes on some veterans to TI. You have Kuroki on one side, Puppy on the other, and now they're going to be locking horns in a battle in the best of 2. Let's jump in with some more Dota.
As the camera flies off into the distance, we are preparing our eyeballs for something exquisite. Team Secret versus Team Liquid. Where Liquid are having, well, not as much on the line. It's the positioning in the group stage they're looking for, but Team Secret, they must get victories here in order to potentially still force the tiebreaker. I'm Toby1 here with Cinderin. Welcome back for our second series of the day.
Yeah, welcome back, everyone. This is going to be, like you said, Secret needs 2 wins. Liquid are playing for positioning. They're currently #1 in their group, but with 2 wins here, they guarantee their first place, at which point they would be 13-3, which LGD cannot catch up to. So, judging from that, I think Liquid will still try to secure that first spot, allowing them to... I believe the rules say they can pick their opponent between the 3rd and 4th place of the opposite group. That's how it usually goes.
I believe that's correct.
I'm not 100% positive on that, but it's still an advantage to have that. Not only, like, maybe you look at the other group and you're like, it would be nice if we could choose between them, because sometimes you have a better matchup against the 3rd place than the 4th place, just playstyle-wise or draft-wise or whatnot. So it's a nice advantage to have. As you mentioned, Secret currently sitting on 7-7. They are behind TNC and Evil. Both of them are 9-5, so if any of those get 2-0'd and Secret also get a 2-0 here, they can force a tiebreaker for 4th place, giving them a chance at the upper bracket. So a lot at stake for Secret here. They're definitely going to bring their A game to try to force that situation.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. You got one last?
Just to mention, very quickly, the matches that remain are Evil Demons playing Fnatic, as their matchup, EGR 9-5, and the other team is TNC, who get matchup LGD. And TNC 2-0ing that will be a tough feat. They could very well get 2-0'd, which means that Secret would then have their tiebreaker. So we'll see how it goes. So Liquid will open up with their Shadow Shaman pick. Secret will follow through with Keeper of the Light Clockwork, and that will be a very easy Night Stalker pickup for Team Liquid. Good counter hero to Keeper of the Light.
Yeah, vision game is always a thing. That's the reason why Night Stalker has been picked up in the first phase by so many teams, and Keeper of the Light does offer vision, but only during the day. So the rest of the time, he's still going to be pretty damn good for the counter pushing. So it's a safe kind of pickup the Poppy can go for in the first phase, and a very open second pick. It could be Yapsor, or it could actually be Kezu playing the Clockwork.
The interesting thing for me about this Night Stalker pick is that when I think Team Liquid, I think ban Night Stalker first phase. That's something Liquid usually does, because they want to grab that Keeper of the Light or the Iron. But this time around, we have a very different scenario that they have secured themselves here. I like this opening from Liquid a lot. Night Stalker is the best 5-man hero, but Shadow Shaman can put those wards down and secure that you can take towers. And once the map opens up, that's when Night Stalker starts getting really scary, because then you have a hard time coming back into the game. Obviously, the counter pick with Light is very apparent, and yeah, that's pretty much it for now. The thing I'm thinking with this Night Stalker pick is this really a GH hero? Like, does GH play this a lot? I don't think I've seen it very much.
Well, maybe your other question then is it more of a mind control here?
That is what I was thinking. Maybe they even consider putting it off lane here. We'll see. I think Night Stalker off lane still has a place in some games, so it could be an option. If you even want to take it that far, you could play it on. position mid or safe lane. It is possible. Night Stalker's talents are actually fairly good for a core position. You get a tactical talent, you get a could see some of that old school S4 style Night Stalker with Armlet first in mid would be. I would love to see that. I'm a big fan of the hero, so I love seeing different playstyles. More than likely not happening, but you know, let's just cover our bases and see if
you're going for the low percentage.
Yes.
Low percentage options for Team Liquid.
If this was fantasy and I could assign this hero a role in this game, I would assign it to 4. But I think the risk reward of assigning it to 4 is must be on. But you never.
Such is the
He'll steal everything with Fate Bolt.
Yeah, that is actually a very accurate depiction of it.
Oh, Amber Spirit's out. So no global battles is one of Mid One's favorite heroes. And we're still waiting for, like, if we look at this, we can basically say we're looking for the 3 cores. That's what's left, and that's what both teams are banding out type, like, priority to us, priority-wise. The Lycan just being removed, it's one of Autonomous' favorite heroes. The Venomans are now being taken out by Team Liquid. It could cause some real problems in the lanes. Wards on ward action. Gonna ends up losing that one in the late game.
It's also a hero that gives vision against Night Stalker. That's what Secret might have actually wanted. They played the safe lane Venom on MP on multiple occasions, similar to the Necrophos. So Liquid have targeted MP very much in the second phase. We'll see what his plan B is here. We've seen some Phantom Lancer for him. For now, it's going to be the Bat Rider, so this will put the Clockwork onto a support role, with Bat Rider being played by Kezu. He was very good at that yesterday.
It actually works really nicely to also block the pick from Team Liquid. If they actually got the Bat Rider and the Night Stalker together, running that 4-position Night Stalker, 3-position Bat,
it's strong.
It would have been really difficult for Team Secret to fight.
At the same time, it's like one of these damn it if you do, damn it if you don't situations where yes, you could give the Bat Rider away, but at the same time, you just pick Bat Rider into Night Stalker to limit your visions. It's like, you know, it doesn't feel the greatest maybe for Secret to pick this hero, but they're very confident in Kezu's ability, and like you said, it's also semi-denied pick, so yeah, it's probably all right.
They just have to coordinate a little bit better. Like, you got Clockwork, Rocket Flare, this will give you a little bit more eyes. And it's a lot of deep push now. Like, you got a little bit of spam into the wave, you got the Illuminate, you got the Firefly, so it's not that easy for Team Liquid just to walk into a fight. And they are looking to force, like, you got a Shadow Shaman, you're wanting to push down towers nice and early on. So Team Liquid needed some team fight control, and the puck will offer this.
Yes. It's got some nice synergy with that line in general, I think. Night Stalker goes in, you want to run away, you can't run away. What I'm wondering when I look at these Secret picks is whether they're considering Bat Rider safe do some aggro, like bottle something. And even, you know, you actually have the option in that case of even swapping roles around, still playing a different position. So here comes the Invoker of Mid One. I believe this hero has had a pretty poor tournament overall in terms of win rate. I think there's been definitely more games lost than won. Okay, now I'm saying definitely. That's a bad thing to do when you have to check the stats. My gut tells me that Invoker has lost more games than it has won. The very memorable game, of course, that he won was the marathon yesterday between Empire and IG. That was the game. 120-minute defensive game with Invoker and
The 48 fantasy points for one game for the Invoker.
That was quite something.
It was pretty nice. But it's also fantastic. So Mid One gets that one. Synergizes nicely with Clockwork and Bat Rider, so they can go for nice ganks and then still have that bonus damage from the Sunstrike. Difficult for Shadow Shaman in fights if he wants to stand still and continue to channel. Shackles and the Broodmother is up. Well, that answers our off-lane question as well as our mid-lane question. Or you would throw it to mid?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
That's one of Invoker's big weaknesses as a pick, is that he can't really go anywhere else. I mean, you can technically put him safe lane, but in a lot of games that's going to be hard to use. He's not that good at pressuring the off-laner. He needs the levels. Invoker can't play this lane. This is the absolute worst matchup out of any for Invoker. Broodmother, impossible. Like, you're not going to play this lane. So you have a problem now if you're Team Secret. Either you need to really assist this mid lane a lot to secure your Invoker a game, or you have to look into alternative laning placement where you do put that Invoker safe lane, which would end up creating a lot of chaos. I think this is a kind of one of those like Trump picks almost from Liquid here, that will really dictate the pace of this game. I love this Brood pick as much as I hate Brood. I can appreciate a good pick.
Or maybe you can finally get your Zeus pick up for the mid lane. You were waiting for it for a while.
Zeus is not going to solve this problem. You need a hero. So what Brood generally commands in the game in the draft is that the enemy needs to have a hero that can deal with Brood almost on its own. Because there's like constant pressure on you to kill this guy, to ward off this guy, blah blah blah. You want a hero like Sand King or Axe or Darkseer that can just, you know, you're on Brood duty for the next 20 minutes, enjoy your game, and then we're playing Dota on the other side of the map. And Secret don't have that pick, and I don't know what they can get. Like, Batrider can pass as a Brood counter in lane, or at least as a hero that can maybe stand there, but I think he eventually loses anything to this Brood. Secret don't have that pick. I wonder what route they're going to go here. They do ban the PL. That was actually the pick I was going to suggest Liquid take fourth here. I thought they were going to go for the PL. I saw a lot of promise in that pick in this game, but they're going to ban out the Sven, so getting rid of the carry that could stand against the Brood potentially in mid. And I'm glad I'm not Secret. I'll say that. Just from a drafting perspective, I think this is one of the drafting nightmares. Kuro probably has like this smirk on his face here. Does he? That's one of the man's warming up. I'm getting to play Brood.
We're good.
You know what? It doesn't surprise me that this guy's a Brood player. You know why? He's playing all of these annoying heroes. Like, think of Matumba Man's hero. Necrophos. Necrophos.
What was that? You just see GH at the end now, just like slapping his name.
Let's go, boys. The puppy's like, let's remake points. So, once Matumba Man's active hero, like the hero pool that you connect with Matumba Man, safe lane, blow through it, Necrophos, Timbersaw, Brood Mother. Not a bad choice here. I like this from Team Secret. It's the hero that can deal with that Brood of Matumba. It's really miracle lifesteal. That's very unique because I didn't mention it, but you know, just think he also plays that's gonna go American. So that is their Brood player, and that's gonna be. I don't think I've seen Miracle play this a single time. But he's not a so very interesting to see here. And he will be thrown onto that bridge to win one of the over. And what's coming out from this game? You know I like to say things sometimes. Have a look at the first 15 minutes how the things. I think in this patch it's a lot more about maybe in this game it's about how the lanes get set up. This Brood has the potential to and not in your classic club. Actually, it's Secret. Again, he is a good player. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes. I piped up the Brood a lot now. I'm watching both play.
Then it'll be like, oh, I'm going to send the Bristle back in. And then he gets goes straight out to the Chopper, just giving MP the biggest bump up in the world.
What I'm thinking about here is what type of I think that's very obvious for such a one type of thing. That is the number. The way they can start this is and if what you're saying, like, it's basically poker, which is basically top lane Puck, which is a tough favorite matchup. So Secret has to help with their supports, which are Clockwork and Coddle, which are both not that good against Puck.
And Coddle kind of has to stay on the safe lane anyway, and then, unless they're going to run an act and then put Kezu into the safe lane. Maybe that's when they push the Bristle and the Coddle to the off lane instead.
And in the meantime, you have Liquid having the Lifestealer versus Batrider matchup. I'm trying to place these lanes in optimal way for Secret, and I can't find winning on lane. I actually can't see it. Lifestealer to Batrider is pretty good against the good against the Roller, so there's 3 to 4 matches for Lifestealer. Blue is amazing against the Roller, good against that, but okay against this one. It's not like it's playing against this one, it just does well. And then finally you have that Puck matchup that we talked about playing against I love this one. Very well constructed here by the pro. They get off. This could actually be very well.
We're getting our laning down, so just to check through it all, Yamsaw and Batrider are hovering around the top lane, so it's like Kezu will run top. He'll be going against the Puck of Mind Control on the top lane. Pushes towards the mid. Mid one is the Invoker. No full surprise there. He is sitting around for the rune, so it looks like they are going to push MP to the bot lane. Mid one will have to go up against Matumba in the mid, and it's Miracle's lifesteal on the off lane. GH and Kuro are down there with him at the moment as the Night Stalker, as well as Shaman hovering around that first bounty rune. Yamsaw will try and contest him, and know if he's going to force GH to stick around. Guess who's come in? There goes at least your first one. They're going sticky napalm as the first level. Luminous able to connect over on GH. They'll remove 2/3 of his life.
Good harass.
But that's all.
This is an interesting item build from the Night Stalker, by the way. What we most of the time see NS do is 5 boots, go Tango and Clarity, but he went for the stick plus Windlace, assuming that he would either be playing around Bat Rider's lane or maybe just, yeah, or the Bristle lane. Both heroes use spells so much that this stick can become very high value. This is very smart itemization from GH.
Team Secret actually did switch around, so Kezu's on bottom, Bristle's on top, and Poppy is currently just contesting GH as he moves between the lanes.
So we do have a Brood versus Invoker in mid.
We do. Good luck, mid one. Wait, Poppy can actually get this. With the help of Roshan, GH is between a rock and a hard place now. Yes, oh, Roshan turns around him, you're right, 4 stick charges. Poppy's still going to try and force him. His clarity's up, he'll burn his clarity straight away. He thought maybe he'll try and deny himself up to Ancient. GH is almost baiting him in. It's like, come on, you think I'm going to deny myself? Another clarity, Poppy. He's got a Luminate available. Keep the range harassment going if he guesses the angle right, and GH knows that's why he puts down the Observer Ward. So he knows exactly what Poppy is up to. What is this chase? Top lane, MP's being forced back underneath the tower. The orb's only going to hit the wave up there, but finally GH will move back past the tier 2 tower. Poppy, the man on the horse, is now 1 out.
That's one of the classiest stuff I've seen this turn. That was so they effectively waste each other's time, so there's like no net gain for either team. I don't know who I would say this favors most, that he goes back to base here in the Night Stalker. I guess he has to buy TP. Nice 50 gold reward there. But the Caudal at least not finding any space or any levels from that, and had to use all his mana. I guess that's the thing. He used both clarities. All right, I want to have a look at mid right now, because this is when mid gets scary. Matumba Man has hit level 3 and he's starting to build an army, and mid 1 is starting to
die.
Yeah, starting to get upset.
At least he has a sentry ward down.
Yes, that is a requirement to even stand remotely, that is not a word, to even remotely stand a chance in this lane, you need to absolutely have a sentry.
But the issue is his Tornado doesn't do enough damage, so Matumba just runs in, gets the spiders in front of him, blocks him up, and he's trying to get up the ramp. Mid 1's so low, there's no spawn spiralings, there's not enough mana. He tries to GG branch his way around. Actually, was that Matumba's or mid 1's? I don't know if he tried to consume it. Yeah, it was Matumba's. He body blocked him with the GG branch.
Nice play top from Secret though.
MP able to get the kill on both GH and Mind Control underneath the tower.
Yeah, this is big for Secret that this lane goes well, because this mid is going to be a problem. But when they manage to get this double kill on their Bristle top with both the Night Stalker and the Puck dying, they make sure that Bristleback gets to have a good game here, and then they can maybe use him again on Brood duty later. If he is doing well in his other lane, he can solve this problem later, perhaps. At bottom lane, we do have the Miracle off lane Lifestealer against Kezu's safe lane Bat Rider, and that is actually still going to favor the Lifestealer. It's just a good matchup overall. Kezu will get a lot of farm here with the Firefly on the stack.
Well, as Miracle tries to contest it, Yapstel's going to burn off a little bit of mana and keep Miracle down the hillside.
Stopped him a bit there.
Yeah.
This lane starts getting especially scary for the Bat Rider when the Lifestealer gets Phase and Orb of Venom, because then you actually just run at the Bat Rider the whole time and pressure him. So the reason they're keeping Clockwork down here this much is that they need to secure that.
Kuro's going to rip in through the rear. Tornado doesn't control enough, and well, there's no point up in Shackles just yet. He's got the extra point, but because of the cold snap and the tower damage, mid 1 will get the kill on the support of Kuro. Wondering where that second level was, if he was trying to work out if he needed Shock or Shackle.
I'm surprised he even skilled Hex level 1. I don't...
Bristleback's dead on top. He can't escape from this. Mind Control's going to be careful as well. Or maybe he can. Salves up in the tree lines. GH already has 4 Quill Spray stacks on him. Make that 5 now. Gets deployed onto MP, but yeah, MP.
This is the Night Stalker dream. Nighttime with level 1. He's actually slower than Bristle. MP is trying to run him down. He could kill him here.
If he can keep the sprays.
He didn't get level 2 from the
Mind
boundary
Control's coming in as well. Thanks to the Observer Ward, MP knew exactly what he was up against, and GH will die. MP now has his 3rd kill of the offlane.
So I did say going into the game that Night Stalker isn't GH's necessarily like most known hero, and this is not good. And that's not because he can't play it by any means. It's just like the way things have flowed and the decisions that have been made have not really favored him very well. Now he's going to go here for MP.
Yeah, all forward from mind control. MP though.
Good pressure.
He's got so much regeneration. When you've just got the Soul Ring as well as the Ring of Regen, you're already at 6.7. That's without eating a Tango.
They forced the Shrine out. It's going to Soul Ring probably and farm a camp here.
Mid lane again, Matumberman moving forward. The battle for the invis in mid is just hilarious to watch. His Sentry, and mid one's just holding on to the shared Tango so he can like counter Sentry if Matumberman drops his Sentry. But that's one way to do it. Send the army of Spiderlings forward and then you take the Sentry yourself. And then the Sentry gets taken back from the Sentry. Sentry Wars.
Look at that damage though. He just puts the medallion onto mid one and sent his spiders in. Look at the damage of that.
He's got spawn Spiderlings. No, he doesn't. Soul Ring's on cooldown.
That tornado.
It buys some space, but not enough. He can cold snap onto Matumberman, allows Poppy to do something, but the spiders are still hunting under the tier 2 tower. Matumberman doesn't care. Known as one of the funnest divers in the game. Now Yapsaw trapped in with spiders. Matumberman can't get outside the pulse. Easily Luke's going to get rid of a couple, but the Rocket does the rest. Makuro's now in mid lane with 1-1-1 on him. Demoga to return. That's what's going to happen. He can't really fight this. All they can do is just try and do the back up the lane. Look at that CS. 51-7 with Matumberman in the mid lane.
This is something that Root can do that no other mid hero can farm the side camps in this triangle area while laning. It's very normal to be able to do this. That's why he's CS is going to shoot through. That's why he can safely go to the pocket spiders. He just retreats this area for a little bit, gets Rocket back up, and then it's worth it here with the farm. Now mid one's in trouble again. Can't really cross the river. Bring it dust this time. That's enough. Clockwork is. You can't use batteries sometimes. He's got the spiders everywhere. You're just going to get spiders all the time with the battery. Auto doesn't have any lockdown. Done. So, like, goes to the perfect group games.
That's a good observer one. Is able to see GA. He's just trying to run around the back. Mid one able to get the tornado into the false snap, and Kezu's nearby. And they actually give it to Kezu. It's not a bad thing. It's going to bring him very close to his normal endurance. Good levels on the Batrider. It's just a lane changer. You give Yapsaw down the bottom lane, get his level 6, and then eventually Duck. And then you put the Batrider into the mid to deal with the Brood Mother. Stop with the counter push, can burn up a lot of the spiders. When they go for bottom lane, like, it's the only semi-safe place you can farm. You just put one. Yeah, but after a couple of things.
Oh, and you rotate him in. Yeah. By the way, we didn't even talk about this, but mid one don't force to play one by all.
He had to push Miracle away, and then just TPs. The Void is going to cancel it. Miracle, he's got stick charges, 1 charge in fact. Allowing to get his mana back from everything that Yapsaw burns off, so that's an easy kill on T1 now. Heads to the first time for the cycle.
Yeah, the being Rosh are playing Crosswex, that's something we really should have talked about. Mid one always plays Cross. But in this game, it feels like he has to play Crosswex to at least stand a chance. That means he will have low farm.
Go embrace your former teammate, Goro. Puppy is just standing there. Mid one will come to help out, and Goro will go down. Mind control, throwing the orb, but it's too far away from Kezu. Even just safety bonds case.
It's going to be really interesting to see what I don't remember the last time he played Crosswex. So he's going to... Crosswex generally goes for like base boosts, so like a Orchid or Staff. Maybe a Midas along the way to maybe an environment actually. Base boost, we can roll for yeah, he's got those coming out. I think he's going to go Midas next. Right. This game. The thing about Crosswex though is that it scales up a lot slower. So the way Crosswex generally does well in the game is by finding builds and using something like Prowl and they don't have that. If he went Crossing Sword, I think he could get played. Like at least this way he's getting some. He has to see it on the time. Pretty good work. Everyone he's up again. Yeah, so the time is coming back. He ain't going to get the void off. Mid-one needs movement speed and well, he's got it for the moment. Kezu's on the way in. Nice tornado into the ESP. Kezu has his level 7, which means Hanzo is up. He cannot try to get back close enough. He has to get the flag flying on. So the Matumberman up the hill and almost away. Mid-one, what would you give for a Zone Strike right now? Off Matumberman just to stick around. If you go down, you're in off left. That was a nice attempt to catch those. We needed a good time to get that last one. When Brutus dusted, he moves pretty slowly in these webs. Like I said, we were able to run at it, but not fast enough to be able to save it there. Wait on the Bad Rider.
MP actually had the best time. Getting a lot of CS down here, he's building up on his items. He's going to go for the push to start with. Extra life, stability.
Pretty quiet team apart from the command with all of the action happening. Life source has been deployed in here. That. And what about the supports?
It's a keeper of the line with me. Really fucking intense. He's just been pushing back. He's not playing to get last look back left. Something that he's been stacking, farming. Already has his bunker up and running. Next to look for something else that's a saving item. He did this in the previous game where really? 1 minute. And issues, dream call, Yapsol, Hawk will bring in a little bit of space. Over my controls, holding him there. Safety looping from Puppy. Flying over their shoulders. MP keeping in. They're going to push and take this big tier 1 tower.
5 minutes, want to see him here to get this done with his mother.
And Puppy's already left. He realized he shouldn't be here as well. Up front play, keep the defense going. If he wants to reinforce someone, he can do so. But that tier 1 tower goes the way it needs to go.
It's expensive. Still think it's worth it to get that tower down. Wave out a bit. Give them more safety around their own jungles so they can start catching up. He is going for that Midas, by the way. Almost has it, as a matter of fact. The rest of the team is going to get it blown. It might be the one less to get. This is really impressive stuff from mid-one.
It helps when he gets the last hit of tower. Like, that injection of money is going a long way.
He also gets the green CCS. He gets some 400. He got long spine. He must have got long spine links in that mid-fight. That gives him a lot of gold here. Very nice. Gets that quite down just now. Interesting to see for me because I know this matchup is like unwinnable when your Quaswex works. But I didn't know how well Quaswex actually fares. He's still losing the lane, but it's not as much as I thought he would, even as Quaswex. So
It's not going to restrict the scaling of mid ones in Bunker.
no, he's just going to probably start building into Exord at this point with his Midas. He's going to get the levels in time. Might see him go for the experience gain talent now on 15, just to make sure he gets to peak at the right time instead of the Forge Spirit summoned.
She seems kind of
how it
funny.
goes.
Like, you're going to get like the earlier items onto Team Secret that allow them to fight before you have them on Team Liquid. Like, Miracle's still trying to build himself into his armlet. He kind of needs that to fight. Losing Kuro's not going to help out either. Mid-1 claims his 3rd kill of the game. But you're going to have Bristleback with both a Hood and a Vanguard in the next minute.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem to bring down.
Yep.
We're also going to have a Brood Mother with Radiance in 10 seconds. So that helps. 13-minute Radiance for...
Have we just baby knighted this up now?
This is going to be the standard build for mid-broods that you'll see in this tournament, I think. Maybe plus minus the medallion. It depends on personal preference, I think. But the Radiance, it's just... Brood gets this the fastest in the game. Like, there's no contesting this. Who can get a Radiance from the 13 this patch like this?
Where's the hook shot? Yapsol. He had vision on Kuro, but it's the invisible Night Stalker with the Line Seal sitting inside of him, right on top of mid-1. They get the silence off. Invoker cannot actually invoke up his Ghost Walk. Does he have enough time and life? He does not, even with the 1 charges. Yapsol will trap GH inside the cogs. He'll burn it by taking to the flight. As Yapsol open wounds in 3 seconds time. Hook shots down to Kezu. He's already back in the safety of the shrine.
Nice teamwork to get out of that one, but they still get the big kill. They got mid-1, that's what they came for.
But they couldn't have expected the invis room from the Night Stalker.
No.
All of their vision is pretty defensive, looking for the invasion into their top area, where the Keeper of the Light was farming. And Puppy does have the defense. Kuro commits Mass Serpent Wards, but they just lost their wave. So these Mass Serpent Wards won't last long, and in fact already Kezu triggers the drum charge, trying to catch up to Kuro, who's already very, very low. He's got Shackles with Flame Break and Firefly on top of him. He needs one more sticky Napalm charge, and the tick from Flame Break, it's just worn off. So Kuro does still have the life. 3rd sticky Napalm charge up. As for Tubberman, well, he'll kill off Bristleback. The Clockwork Rocket will find that kill as well onto Kuro behind the tower. But with no tier 1 tower, it was already sitting at like 100 HP, but Tubberman just dove in after the Bristle. Difficult kill to get, but he got it.